I want to tell this little story from my first triathlon. We were getting all my transition stuff ready, and we headed back to the car, and I thought, oh, yeah, I have to put my glasses with my bike, because at the time I didn't have any contacts, and of course I need to see while I'm on the race. I don't want to crash into anybody. So, and I can't swim with glasses on, obviously, so I was like, okay, these are my only pair of glasses, and they have to be there at my bike for the transition. So we went back, and I left my glasses with my bike on for the transition. And then we get back to the car, and of course I don't have any other glasses, so I'm like, hey Mom, can you drive? And she's like, oh, sure. And she gets in the driver's seat, because until then I had been driving the whole time and not really thought anything about it. But it was late, getting dark, and she was like, yeah, sure, I'll drive. And so she gets in the driver's seat, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I'm just kind of like nervous, thinking about all the stuff that's gonna happen, and how it's gotta go, and how I should prepare, and what I need to think about. And we're just kind of driving along, and she's kind of like, like looking at the road. She's like, let's see, I can't see the lines very well. And I look at her, and she's got her glasses on top of her head. And I was like, well, Mom, why don't you put your glasses on? And she's like, oh, that will make it worse. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, my eyes are bad. I shouldn't be driving at night. But she had so just like willingly accepted to drive since I didn't have my glasses. And at that point, I didn't know who would have been a better driver, because my eyesight was probably better than hers at that point, when she's telling me that her glasses make her eyesight worse. And she, I can tell from her driving that, maybe I could drive better with the current vision I have with no glasses. But at the same time, I'm like so nervous, like I'm kind of an emotional wreck, so maybe it's about neutral. And also, like, I don't know how to get to the hotel, because she booked it and she knew where it was, and like our phones were dead, and so we couldn't get a map out. And so we get like close, and she's like, I think it's here, I think, and then we like turn off to a street, and she had to think for a minute, and she's like, I think we didn't go far enough. And so then we keep going, and eventually we get to this like gas station that's like totally shut down, like they're doing some kind of remodeling maybe, and there's like some road construction all around it. And she just like starts driving through, and I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, I think this is right. And I'm like, this is nowhere. This is nothing. What's happening? And she's like, well, this is the way that the GPS told me to go when I went to this hotel last time. It's just bumpy because of construction, so it's kind of hard to see because there's no city lights at this part of town. And I'm just like, okay. But we get through this weird patch of gas station parking lot / road with a stop sign place that I can't define. And we end up in another parking lot that is a parking lot to a hotel. And I see the hotel's like good and like okay, and she parks the car, and she's like, okay, we made it. And I'm just like, and I just start laughing, just like, this is hilarious and amazing. And like, it was so reflective of like trips that I went on in high school, like times that we went to the city and I had no idea where we were, and GPS wasn't big back then, and I didn't know how to get back, and we would just figure it out. Like, we'd print out MapQuest, but then we'd take a wrong turn and try to figure out how to get back to where we're supposed to be. And I just laughed, and I just was like, this is amazing, this is so fun. And I thought, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I laughed like that. And like, it would be easy to panic and be like, this is crazy, like, why am I doing this random triathlon where only my mom is my support system? And I'm so grateful to her that she came all this way just to watch me race. And I'm so grateful to her to just like run with the punches. Like, I'm super I was super underprepared, and she wasn't critical. She wasn't like negative in any way. Whatever I asked her to do, she just like, okay. Even if she didn't feel like she was prepared or qualified for it, she just like, okay, that's what you want me to do, I'll do it. And you want me to drive at night to our hotel with my bad eyesight? Okay, we'll do it. And I was just very grateful, and just, it was fun. It was hilarious. And I just like, after having had a difficult couple of years with some heavy depression, some severe major depression, and my PTSD, which I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Every day things come to mind where I was like, oh, I was like that because of my PTSD, or that happened, I felt that way because of my PTSD, or like, I'm still recovering. Like, I don't think I have PTSD anymore, but I kind of like I'm like recovering and healing from the PTSD I had. And in that, I was so grateful that in that moment I had a real laugh, a real actual laugh. And I hadn't had like a real actual laugh in a few years, maybe 3 years or so. I was so caught up in depression, anxiety. I was so caught up in my self-loathing and my mental problems that I couldn't laugh for years. And in that moment, I was incredibly grateful to just laugh. It wasn't a long laugh. It didn't last, that feeling didn't last forever, but it was pure, and it was in the moment, and it was everything I needed.